The sale of Saber Interactive has taken place. The company is now owned by, technically, itself, and the long-awaited Jurassic Park video game that was just announced at the end of last year is safe. Jurassic Park Survival was confirmed to still be in active development, with the company looking to share more about their upcoming titles soon. We've got the details in this video along with a summary about the upcoming game. Welcome back to Jurassic Outpost, let's dive in. As reported a week or so ago, the video game developer Saber Interactive was said to be being sold by their parent company Embracer in a very swanky deal. That deal was confirmed just yesterday for $247 million. As announced by the firm in a statement published today, it has agreed to divest selected assets from Saber to Beacon Interactive, a new company founded by Saber's co-founder Matthew Karch. Saber will retain a number of studios as part of the sale, including Nimble Giant, 3D Realms, Sandbox Strategies, New World Interactive, Slipgate, Madhead Games, Fractured Byte, and Digic. Embracer CEO said, "I am pleased that we have found a win-win solution for Embracer and the parts of Saber that will now leave us. This transaction puts both companies in a stronger position to thrive going forward." And Saber's co-founder and director of new company Beacon Interactive said, "As part of the company's efforts to reorganize for a changed industry and geopolitical changes, we jointly felt it was the right decision for both Embracer and the core of Saber to part ways. This divestment leaves both parties in much better positions to grow our respective businesses. I will continue to remain a large, long-term shareholder of Embracer and will remain partners on several ongoing and future projects." We detailed in our last video about this topic that there was nothing to fear with Jurassic Park Survival, and while there of course was a chance that the sale could affect Saber's roster of in-development games, we were almost certain that Jurassic was safe. The name alone has a lot of presence and power these days, and Saber wouldn't want to let that one go, and neither would Universal.
Can anyone hear me? This is Dr. Maya Joshi. I've been left behind on Isla Nublar.
Saber has been silent since the announcement on the sale, which in itself was understandable. The silence, however, did make some people nervous about the game's status. Well, Tim Willits can put you at ease. Chief Creative Officer at Saber Interactive put out a statement. "I have received a lot of questions concerning the status of some of our previously announced projects now that Saber has separated from Embracer. I'm happy to confirm we're still working on a number of titles, including Warhammer, Space Marine 2, Toxic Commando, and Jurassic Park Survival. We are so excited about these titles and can't wait to share more with everyone soon." So for now, you do not need to worry about this video game. It is still in active development, always was, and luckily this sale has gone through so that the team at Saber can refocus on their games. What do we know about Jurassic Park Survival? On December 7th at the Game Awards in Fort Lauderdale, Saber Interactive unveiled the game for PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Explore Isla Nublar and face terrifying dinosaurs in this thrilling single-player action-adventure game set just after the events of the iconic Jurassic Park film. The unveiling came alongside a trailer for the game, which featured cinematic sequences introducing us to the main character, Dr. Maya Joshi, and showing us some of the returning iconic dinosaurs, the T-Rex, the Dilophosaurus and the Gallimimus, and the Velociraptor. Players will take on the role of Dr. Maya Joshi, an InGen scientist who was unable to evacuate Isla Nublar. They'll be challenged to survive an intense mix of first-person stealth and action in thrilling encounters with dinosaurs, each with their own distinct and adaptive behaviors. Players will be able to dive into a lush world full of wonder, mystery, and danger as two species, separated by 65 million years, come face to face in an all-new adventure. Will the game be open world? The announcement told us adventure through a fully realized Isla Nublar filled with reactive wildlife, dinosaurs, and other surprising threats. From the iconic towering park gates to the visitor center and beyond, Jurassic Park comes alive like never before. While the wording is not a full confirmation of this game being open world, it confirms that the island as a whole has or will be constructed and will likely be explorable by the player. That is the hope anyway. There are two paths the game could take, the first being the full open world route, and honestly we are hoping this is the case. The second is of course the more linear path, like the recent Tomb Raider games that still give you an open world experience but in closed off segments with well hidden barriers. Either way, I hope we can free roam on the island. That is something I honestly have always wanted to do. So who is Dr. Maya Joshi? From what we know so far, she is an InGen scientist who was left behind on the island in the immediate aftermath of the events of the park disaster. Dr. Joshi was working at the park but missed the last ferry back to the mainland and is now trapped on the island. Unfortunately, the last of the survivors of the Jurassic Park incident have already left. In the trailer, we meet a seemingly already wounded Maya who stumbles through the iconic visitors center and into the kitchen. How was she wounded? That is a question many want to see answered, but this tells us her adventure does not begin here. Attached to her belt, we see a walkie-talkie and a flare, and we think this ties into what we know about the stealth-based gameplay. We think Maya will have to employ the use of flares to distract and potentially frighten away dinosaurs. And it makes us wonder if she'll be using the walkie-talkie to communicate with somebody else on the island. The website tells us that Maya was unable to evacuate the island, which could hint that her character was already in some sort of trouble ahead of the park breaking down. This raises some very interesting questions like, what exactly caused Maya to miss the boat in the first place? How did she end up completely alone? And is she actually alone? What's the story here? Who else is on the island? The video game has been given a provisional early rating of PEGI 16. This rating is not final, but gives us some idea of the tone the game is aiming for. For reference, as a lot of people wanted an Alien Isolation type video game, that game was given a PEGI 18 rating. So we can expect something less scary than that game. Saying that, parentzone.org.uk lists PEGI 16 as the following. At the 16 level, you can expect to see more mature and realistic violence against human characters. The game may deal heavily with death and injury to humans. Gory and bloody violence may be included at a PEGI 16 level, but only if the game is arcade style. Take of that what you will. Here's hoping Jurassic Park Survival delivers on the same horrors the film gave us, and even more. You can check out some of our other videos in the playlist to learn more about this game. We're glad Saber were able to comment and provide an update. It is of course great to learn that Survival will not suffer the same fate as the previous 2 attempts. The game is safe. For now. Stay tuned as we'll keep you updated on everything we know about this game, and thank you for watching this video.